In order to begin using the P&L and budget tracker, you can immediately click on New. It will prompt you for a title and whether you are going to show this as public or private. So public shows to every user that you have in your system. Private is private to just you until you select checkboxes, and then it will show it to those users and they can edit this tool. You hit save and it will show up for them. There is a real-time edit function where if they are using it as well and they're on the same page that you're on, whether it's marketing or 2026, and you will be able to see it just like Google Sheets works. So if I'm in here now, I've got my marketing one and I've got 2026. I'm going to click on my 2026 test one that I've done just so you can see what this looks like if every module is used. But you've got the ability to add a revenue section, direct cost, expenses, owner draw, and debt payment. All the things you'd find on a typical financial sheet. So if I scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see, let's add revenue first actually. So if I add something here, I can enter a code. If you've got your own accounting codes, or if you want to leave it blank, you can do that too. And this would be the type of revenue as a line item. Let's type in a value. And let's say our forecast was 4,000. So you could see those percentages changing as we typed. So if it's that you took in less revenue than forecasted, it's going to show in a red, 75%. If it were over, it would show you in green. So it's very visually easy to see where you're at. Now, to make this a little bit easier to look at, you can minimize that left column. So now I'm over here and you can add lines if you want to be able to continue adding to your total here, or you can go down here and just save. And then this was built to be ultra simple, even for non-financial people. So you'll notice every section here tells you what is in these or what should be in these. So, if you're looking at your COGS, then you'd put like labor and materials, and then it gives you some examples. And if you go down here, you'll see that there's these little help bubbles that will tell you what these formulas actually are. So now if I, again, like I said, use everything ties up here and you can see where you're at by month. And then if you scroll over to the right, you can see where you're at year to date. So a couple different views there. Now, if you want to copy this to Excel or export it, you just hit copy and you paste it into Excel and everything transfers over. So now I want to show you a different example if you want to use this in a more practical way for departments, but individual departments. So we started the marketing one. Now each one's going to have the gross profit, gross margin, net profit here when you get started. Let's change this to public. That's how you change it if you decided afterwards, like, oh, you know what, actually I want everyone to be able to see this. Just make sure you hit save. So now I really like this. This is what I tend to use this for a lot more commonly is let's do revenue and expenses. So I like this because you can rename these things on here. You can type in whatever you want it to be. But I want to do, let's say, a projection of what marketing is going to spend every month. So over here for our expenses, if you have a code, whatever it might be, let's just call it 100 and let's just say general ads. So let's say my ad budget for January is $5,000. And let's say I actually spent like $4,000. So you can see that we're actual to budget is 80%. And you can add all the lines that you need to. So again, if you wanted to do 200 and you wanted to say, let's just say social media, whatever it is, you can be as granular as you want or as high level as you want. And again, if you type in 10,000, let's say your budget was 8,000, you went over budget, it's going to show you a nice average here. And then when you scroll down again, everything is going to be summarized and you can easily copy this to Excel. So what I really like to be able to do is to say, okay, here's my expenses, but then actually what was the revenue? So let's just throw this in here and let's say, you could do again, ads, match it up. And you could say January, you think, you went through everything and it looks like you brought in, let's say 10,000 from ads and you projected, maybe you'd bring in 5,000. So you can see you brought in a lot more than expected. So it's a really nice way to be able to track different things to make sure that you're paying attention to what's being spent. Marketing is always the target, so we use that as an example. But you want to make sure that you're, bringing in revenue that makes sense compared to what you're spending. So this is a really great function for that. If you ever have questions or you want to walk through on how to use this for your specific situation, definitely email us at team@executethevision.com.